obviously a lot to unpack at UFC Fight Night. Let's start with DMX comes on and Anderson Silva's walking out. What was going through your mind watching him make his final walk in the UFC?
Yeah, listen, the guy's a legend. He's been here for a long time. He's accomplished a ton of great things, and I felt, I know he came out earlier last week and said, it doesn't feel like family anymore since Lorenzo left, and I will always admit Lorenzo was the kinder, gentler side of the UFC. But I've shown Anderson nothing but respect. He's never been cut. His contract has never been negotiated. He's been very well taken care of, more than family. So hopefully tonight he realizes that he's 46 years old and it's time to hang it up. You
as a promoter and then a fan of the sport, I mean, did you get nostalgic about these things watching Anderson Silva fight for the last time? You get emotional sitting there watching it?
Yeah, I do, but I also think that Anderson is one of those guys like the Chuck Liddells and the stud warriors that we've had here that I don't know. I might have held on too long and let him fight too much. So, hopefully he goes home and his family talks him into that's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. Do you think maybe he should have retired when he broke his leg back in 2013?
Oh, I don't know if he should have retired when he broke his leg, but but yeah, it's time. It's time for Anderson to enjoy the second phase of his life and whatever that is that he's going to do. I know he's opened gyms in Los Angeles and other places, and he's doing well with other things. So it's good to see him fight his final fight and move on to the next, whatever's next in his life, and everything that he's accomplished and done here in the UFC is part of our history. We love him and we appreciate him, and yeah.
Is that why you made it clear coming into this fight that win or lose, that he's 46, all the injuries he's been through? Because some people were he's got 2 fights left on his contract, so why make it so definitive that this?
I didn't want him to fight this fight. Yeah. I didn't want him to fight this fight, but I gave it to him. I gave it to him.
If this guy comes back and you've been in this situation before, and he says, "I'm not ready to retire. I want to fight somewhere else,"
it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. There's no negotiation over it. We made a deal. He's him and Han now, but we made a deal. We have a deal. I have a deal, and that's it.
Well, let's look at the other side of the fight.
Sure, if you polled the fans and the media, they'd all tell you they don't want to see Anderson fight again.
Yeah, well, it's tough though, right? Because these guys, they have a hard time walking away. So he seems to fall in that category for sure.
He's 46. That would be a big yes. Yeah, he's definitely in that category.
Yep. How about the other side of it, Uriah Hall? I mean, obviously this is a big win for him and catapults him into what? What do you think this does for Uriah Hall's career?
Listen, Anderson Silva's a good name on your resume. I don't know if it catapults him to anything. Silva's a legend. It's a great name to have on your resume. I don't know. We'll see what's next for him.
Yep, and a lot of impressive performances tonight just in general. It looks like
it was a great night.
We got a list of bonuses. You guys didn't do fight night bonus or fight of the night bonus. You gave 4 performances bonuses, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, so you had you had Miles John, Adrian Yanez, Alexander Hernandez, Kevin Holland, Bryce Mitchell. Which of those guys, if you had to pick one of them, stood out to you the most tonight?
They all did. They all did. It's impossible to pick one. I mean, Hernandez looked unbelievable. Holland, that kid's stand-up was nasty, and Holland got clipped with a couple of shots and then literally slammed him through the octagon 2 times to end the fight. And, Bryce, I knew, that was one of my fights that I picked this week on If You Don't Know, Now You Know. I knew that was going to be a really tough fight for both guys, and it was. It was an impressive night for everybody.
Yep. Izzy was in the building. He drew the attention of Kevin Holland. That was kind of a fun part of the night.
Yeah, that was.
It's no secret. So they're going back and forth on Twitter. Adesanya has mentioned that he wants to move up to light heavyweight. Jan is welcoming him with open arms. Is that the fight you're looking at?
Yeah,
now?
Listen, he and I met yesterday. We had a great time, had a great meeting yesterday, and I was adamant on him fighting Whitaker for the title. It's the thing that makes the most sense. And then Whitaker comes out after the fight and says he doesn't want to fight him, which is wacky. But okay, then he'll move up to 205 and fight Jan.
Wow. So that's his next fight.
Yep.
Do you have any kind of time frame on it, or you just know
No.
that that's the next one?
No. That's what he wants. And when the number one contender doesn't want to fight you, then yeah, we'll do what he wants.
And I know that, sometimes the details of this have to be ironed out. But in the past, when a champion wants to move around in a weight class, it kind of means like, was he vacating his belt? Are you making an interim title? What do you think is the situation?
Yeah, I don't think he has to vacate his belt to do it. I think, Israel Adesanya is a guy who wants to stay busy, wants to fight, wants to challenge himself against the best. Let's not forget, he fought Yoel Romero when he didn't have to. We didn't want him to fight Yoel Romero. It didn't make sense. It made sense to him because he said, everybody thinks he's one of the toughest dudes in the world. I want to fight him.
Yep.
And you know how much I love that stuff. So, Israel has really, made all the right choices in everything that he's done. Kid wants to fight the best, and he wants to do things that nobody else has done, so I love it.
Yep. A few more for you. Obviously, the whole world's been talking about Khabib Nurmagomedov and his decision to retire afterwards. And then you mentioned to CBS Sports that you've been in contact with him, and you do think that there is a possibility he comes back and does 30-0 that his father wanted. What has he said to you that makes you think?
So
that
he was super emotional after that fight, and he got the measles, the mumps, whatever he got. Then he broke his toe leading into that fight. Took the fight. And the passing of his father, I just think he was super emotional in the moment that night. And I'm not saying he's going to 100% come out for 30, but I get the feeling that he will.
So in terms of running your business, does he remain your lightweight champion? He is the lightweight champion.
Yeah, he's the lightweight champion right now.
Okay, so you're not looking for that. There's no vacant belt to fill.
No vacant belt.
Okay, so all of these, because you got some fun fights coming up in lightweight. None of them you've really announced, but we shouldn't expect anything like an interim title or anything like that. It'll be
no interim title,
fights.
No vacant title, none of that.
Okay. If Khabib does come back and wants to do 30-0, which would make a whole lot of people happy, what criteria, what would you want to see in a final fight to try and get him to that mark that he wanted and his father wanted?
No clue yet. No clue yet.
Yeah. Any update on Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier? Is their contract signed? Any update in the negotiations for that fight?
I believe it is. I believe the deal's done, yeah.
It's done. Done deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where it'll be at?
Not yet.
And then last one for you, Mike Tyson fighting Roy Jones Jr. on November 28th. You've got an event here at the Apex on November 28th. You said you wanted to go support your guy, Mike Tyson. Are you going to be able to get to that fight in L.A., or will you be here at the Apex?
I don't think so. I'll be here, yeah. I'll be here, but I'll be watching.
FaceTime him or shoot him some support messages.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
All right.
All right, man.
Enjoy the rest of your night, Dane. Appreciate it.
Thanks, you
too. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.